You start the final week of the old economy with 9 bank accounts, 3 offshore holding companies, and a net worth with 9 zeros. The account balance is exactly $1,800,000,004, where the final $4 reside in a standard checking account for tax purposes. Monday morning brings the usual market volatility, but the charts do not recover by lunch. Tuesday sees the Dow drop 4,000 points in a single, breathless trading halt. Your wealth management team sends a pre-formatted email advising long-term perspective and steady hands. Wednesday, the email servers go dark forever. There is no long-term perspective when the dead begin to walk down Wall Street. Civilization ends, which analysts note is highly detrimental to quarterly earnings. You watch the final news broadcast from a reinforced concrete penthouse high above the harbor until the screen turns to static. Your portfolio of Class A commercial real estate is now a collection of vertical concrete tombstones. Sirens wail below, fade, and leave behind a heavy, radioactive silence. The vault doors at the Federal Reserve remain sealed, protecting mountains of high-grade linen currency. Nobody breaks the glass to steal them. A hungry courier on the street corner trades a 3-carat diamond ring for a single sleeve of saltines. The deal is finalized in seconds. The courier discards a ring in the mud and walks away with the crackers. Dollar bills are stuffed into trash cans to light small, smoky cooking fires. Your net worth drops to absolute zero, not because the numbers vanished, but because the shared belief in those numbers evaporated. The world changes from a place of digital transactions to a place of physical survival. You're technically the wealthiest man in a 5-mile radius, but the local rats have a higher standard of living. The European Central Bank releases a final statement promising unlimited liquidity support. The statement is delivered via a short-wave radio to an audience of empty streets. Gold bugs celebrate their foresight for exactly 6 hours until they realize gold cannot be eaten. Your private helicopter sits on the rooftop pad, fully fueled, but with nowhere to land that is not currently burning. The pilot has already left to find his family. The concrete bunker beneath the estate is a masterpiece of architectural foresight. It contains 3 years of filtered air, 2,000 gallons of water, and an exquisite collection of modern art. The paintings represent $40 million of pre-collapse investment. They are currently excellent insulators against the damp concrete walls. You spend the first month cataloging the inventory. The shelves hold vintage wines, hand-rolled cigars, and 12 boxes of dried pasta. The ratio of luxury to sustenance is highly imbalanced. A bottle of Chateau Margaux from 1982 is open to wash down a bowl of plain white rice. The pairing is functionally adequate. Your flat-screen monitors display static, but the security cameras show the perimeter fence is holding. Occasionally, shadows pass across the lens. They do not carry wallets or credit cards. The dead have no consumption habits. They do not pay rent, nor do they care about prime lending rates. The entire global supply chain is reduced to what is currently inside the room. You possess 90 custom-tailored suits, 40 pairs of Italian leather shoes, and 6 cans of chicken noodle soup. The suits are stored in cedar closets to prevent moth damage. The moths, like the zombies, are indifferent to the designer labels. A single can of soup becomes the most valuable asset in the portfolio. It is kept in the wall safe behind a Rothko painting. Your investment strategy undergoes a radical realignment towards sodium-heavy liquids. Real estate is no longer about location, but about the thickness of the steel plating. The yield on gold is 0, and the yield on spam is life. The calculation is simple, brutal, and entirely non-negotiable. The high-end air filtration system hums with an expensive, comforting purr. It consumes diesel fuel at a rate of 30 gallons a day. The fuel reserves will last until November. After November, the air will be free, but of significantly lower quality. A knock on the escape hatch destroys the illusion of isolation. The visitor is not an infected creature, but a living man with a rifle. He represents the new regulatory authority of the wasteland. You negotiate through the armored intercom system. The man wants medicine, fuel, and food. In return, he offers to not shoot the security cameras. This is a standard extortion model, recognizable from the early days of corporate mergers. The valuation of the deal is contested. You offer a gold bar, weighing 12 kilograms, stamped by a Swiss bank. The man laughs through the speaker, a dry metallic sound. He points out that gold cannot patch a wound or fire a bullet. The gold bar is rejected as an obsolete financial instrument. The market has spoken. Gold is now merely a heavy yellow brick. A new agreement is reached after 3 hours of tense arbitration. The transaction is completed through the decontamination drawer. One bottle of broad-spectrum antibiotics is exchanged for a promise of 12 days of peace. Your return on investment for the medicine is astronomical. The cost basis of the pills was $12. The current value of 12 days of life is incalculable. The trade is logged in a leather notebook with a fine-point pen. There are no brokers to charge a fee. There is no clearinghouse to settle the transaction. The courier walks away into the gray mist, leaving the gold bar on the concrete. It sits there, catching the dim afternoon light, entirely worthless. You watch him leave through the video monitor. The world is a buyer's market now, provided the buyer has canned peaches. Your database of corporate acquisitions is useless when the target companies have been eaten. The stock market of the outside is a board of chalk marks on a ruined wall. The only active index is the casualty count. October brings a cold rain and a drop in the fuel reserves. The dials on the diesel tank are near empty. You must leave the concrete sanctuary to source fuel. The local trading outpost is located in a ruined church 3 miles down the highway. It is a primitive marketplace, full of damp wool and the smell of wood smoke. The merchants do not accept credit cards or bank transfers. They deal in the hard currencies of survival: ammunition, dry salt, and kerosene. You carry a leather satchel filled with luxury items. Inside are 6 platinum Rolex watches, 3 diamond necklaces, and a pristine copy of a rare book. The satchel represents a pre-collapse value of $500,000. The outpost leader is a former logistics manager with a scarred face. He examines the watches with a jeweler's loupe, then puts them down. He offers 10 gallons of low-grade kerosene. The exchange rate is unfavorable. You attempt to leverage your position by offering the diamond necklaces as a package deal. The manager is unmoved by the marketing pitch. He explains that diamonds are useless for starting fires. The transaction is concluded under protest. 6 watches are traded for a single rusty jerrycan of fuel. Your portfolio of wearable assets is severely depleted. The walk back is long, wet, and dangerous. The weight of the fuel can is heavy, but it is the weight of survival. Shadows stir in the woods beside the road. They are fast, quiet, and hungry. They do not care about your net worth, only your protein content. The sprint to the security gate is a high-intensity physical audit. You survive, but the cost in sweat is significant. The fuel is poured into the generator with trembling hands. The generator roars to life with a smoky, diesel-scented cough. It will run for another 96 hours. The cost per hour of light is currently 1 high-end Swiss watch. This is an expensive utility bill, even by historical standards. Winter arrives with a heavy frost and a quiet sky. The last transmission of any kind occurred 3 weeks ago. It was an automated system repeating an error code. You sit at the mahogany desk in the bunker, wearing 3 cashmere sweaters. The sweaters are layered to conserve body heat, as the heating system is now off. A single candle provides the illumination. The ledger on the desk is open to the balance sheet. The assets are listed in order of true liquidity. The Rolexes are gone. The gold is a paperweight. The remaining inventory is simple: 18 cans of tuna, 6 gallons of water, and 40 rounds of ammunition. This is the entire capital of the estate. The net worth of the billionaire is now calculated in calories. Outside, the world is quiet, frozen, and empty. The zombies are slow in the cold, their joints stiffened by the ice. They're the ultimate long-term holders of the world's real estate. They do not sell, and they do not move. Your former competitors are likely among them, wandering the empty suburban streets. They are finally free of their debt obligations. The economy has reached perfect terminal equilibrium. You close the ledger and blow out the candle. The darkness is thick, cold, and absolute. The bunker remains secure, a tiny bubble of warmth in a dead world. The value of the asset is confirmed. It is not the gold, or the art, or the memories of wealth. It is the next breath. The transaction of life continues, 1 second at a time, at a cost basis of pure survival. You are still the richest man alive, if only because you are still breathing. The rest is just noise on a dead wire. The wind howls against the steel hatch above, a lonely sound. No one is coming to rescue the bank accounts. The global economy is a forgotten myth, like the gold standard or the concept of the weekend. The market is closed permanently, but life continues.